Welcome to the desk of the Executive Director of Back Bay Mission. I am James Pennington, and I'm here with one of our fantastic volunteers, long-term volunteers. 4 months?
4 months.
4 months this year. 3 months last year?
3 months last year.
Yeah, so Jaye has added a month, and she lives in our cute little yellow cottage across the street from Back Bay, and you're living there with one of our other long-term volunteers right now. And our long-term volunteers, especially like Jaye, to me, are really invaluable because she's, number one, she's learning a skill. She's learning how to do construction, right?
I am.
And how to do major and minor repairs.
Right.
And then just learning, I think it's the interaction with people and with volunteers. And like, it's this research on human beings and human activity, right? And how humans live and breathe and come down here to serve and to do this work at Back Bay. So we had an interesting week last week. Last week we had a group of about 20 students that were here from Olivet University, Olivet College, that's in Michigan, and then we had a group of volunteers from Wisconsin, or two groups from Wisconsin, and they were older folks, and the students, of course, were all traditional student age. And Jaye had some really, I think, interesting reflections about kind of that intergenerational work that was going on. So do you want to share that, Jaye?
Oh, sure. So what I saw that was so beautiful was that the older adults and the younger adults were kind of pairing up. And the older adults were mentoring the younger adults and teaching them skills. And to the point where by midweek I was able to say to a group of younger adults, would you please go sheet this side of the house? And they were able, that's all the instruction that they needed. They didn't need any more instruction because they had been working with the older adults. The older adults had been super about passing that knowledge along to the younger adults.
Wow. And the older adults that were here from Wisconsin had been down here several times, and so they had some of the skills, right?
Right.
They've been coming down and developing their skills around construction. I think it's interesting because that intergenerational work, many of us that have been in social work or church work or kind of working in the social services have always longed for intergenerational work, for young people and high school students and college students to work with aging adults, just to share that information and do intergenerational work. And I think that was really powerful when Jaye shared that with me, because I was hoping that was happening, but not being on the work site all day with folks, I didn't see that happen, but Jaye did. So that's really exciting, and it really creates and fosters generational understanding, right? Because we talk about generations, and right now we kind of feel like this young generation of college students or high school students are going to be the ones that are going to save our world, right? Especially when it comes to climate change and global warming and race and all the issues we have right now, the divisiveness. But I think for them to work with older adults and do that intergenerational work helps them understand each other better, and fosters and creates just more of a oneness in the community. So any other thoughts about that? I know you said it really kind of gave you chills as you watched it.
Oh, it did. I took a lot of pictures of these beautiful groups doing their work. It just was so, it was food for my spirit, I guess you would have to say. Yeah. It fed my spirit because they were, it just was so beautiful to see the groups work together. I was really appreciative that the older adults were passing this information on to the younger adults. The older adults have so much knowledge and so much experience. They might not have as much energy as the younger adults.
Right.
But they have that very valuable knowledge, and so I think it's really important. I thanked the older group for being willing to work with the younger group. And the group that's here this week, I mentioned that to them, and I encouraged them if any group, older group, has a chance to be in partnership with a younger group to seize that opportunity.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's really critical, because when I was interacting with the groups from Wisconsin, the older adults, I'd ask them periodically, because I knew them from this being their return trip. I said, "So how's it going?" And several of them said to me, working alongside these college students has really enhanced our experience, and we're loving it and loving that interaction. And this was a big push that we had to try to get university students here for spring break. And we had 3 university groups, so probably a total of about 60 university students during the course of 2 weeks that spent their spring break time here, all from historic colleges that were connected with the United Church of Christ, which have this kind of equity and justice built into their programming. So it was really exciting. And I appreciate you being on the work site and your commitment to Back Bay. Where are you going next?
I'm going to Western Kentucky.
Western Kentucky? Mm-hmm. Have you been there before?
I was. I was in Princeton before.
Okay.
Now I'm going to be a little further west in Mayfield.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So this is something that Jaye has really decided is what you want to do with your life, right?
Yeah.
You don't own a home.
I don't.
You own a motorhome.
I do.
And you go from place to place serving with the United Church of Christ, right? That's exciting. With your cat.
With my cat.
With your cat, yeah. So that's just, I think that's something that, when you think about volunteerism and you think about serving, it just lightens your soul, it lightens your spirit, and like you said, it fills you. And it teaches us to be the change that we want to see in the world, right? That's what it's about. So thank you for your time and your commitment, and we really appreciate you tuning in and letting us share kind of all these moments at Back Bay Mission. And we're actually not at my desk, as you can tell. I've been rocking in this chair, probably making Kevin crazy behind the camera, but these are our rocking chairs in our porch in the mission house. So if you come down here for a volunteer, you get to sit in rocking chairs on a good southern porch. So we appreciate your time and your energy with us today. Thank you. Have a good day.